If you've ever wondered, what if we pour all our time and effort into this house and still get it wrong? You're not alone. And that fear is exactly why planning for a true legacy home matters. Because without a clear long-term plan, most builds end up chasing trends and making decisions as you go. So you get something that looks big and impressive but lives like a McMansion, a showy house that's tiring to live in. You end up with awkward layouts, wasted rooms, mixed up styles, cheaper materials, and a home that's hard and expensive to cool, clean, and maintain. If you don't plan the house and design properly around your real life and future generations, your legacy home is at high risk of becoming a Filipino McMansion. Expensive on paper, but stressful and uncomfortable instead of calm and lasting. When that happens, you lose time, sleep, and peace of mind. And one day, your children inherit a house that feels like a burden, not a gift. And fixing deep mistakes later turns into years of hassle, constant headaches, and a huge waste of time redoing things you already paid for once. I've seen it up close. Families who were so excited on turnover day. Then 5 or 10 years later, they're dealing with leaks, hot rooms no one wants to use, and renovations they never planned to pay for. I've spent decades helping families build homes across the Philippines. I've seen the difference between houses that fall apart in 10 years and homes that still feel solid, comfortable, and valuable generations later. So instead of guessing, I want to give you a clear plan. In this video, I'll walk you through a simple 5-step way to build for your family name, not just for the next few years. And the last step is the final line of protection that almost everyone skips, but it's what turns a finished house into a true legacy home. If you're planning a high-value home in the Philippines and you want it to be a long-term base for your family, this is for you. If you just want the cheapest, fastest build, this isn't your video. By the end, you'll know exactly how to. Choose the right plan and set up from the start. Design for decades, not trends. Protect your health and peace at home. Stay in control during the build. And receive more than just keys at turnover. And there's one step near the end that almost nobody asks for, but it's the difference between a finished house and a true legacy home. Now that you know where we're headed, let's start with step 1, choosing right from the start so you avoid costly changes later. Before you fall in love with floor plans, you need one simple plan that decides whether your build feels smooth and intentional or stressful and full of changes. Most families start with, gusto ko ganito itsura, and padrawing muna tayo, without a clear plan on paper. So along the way, they keep changing their minds about budget, priorities, and family needs. And every new idea means rework, delays, and extra cost. And this isn't just theory. Construction research backs this up. Studies from the Construction Industry Institute show that when the project isn't clearly defined at the start, total cost can end up around 10-25% higher, and timelines get longer because of constant late changes. A 2016 study in the International Research Journal of Engineering and Technology found the same thing. When projects don't plan things clearly at the start, they usually end up more expensive, slower, and harder to manage, while projects that plan properly early on have fewer surprises and fewer delays. Step 1 is where you choose the right plan from the start, not a floor plan, but a thinking plan. It's a short, written roadmap made of 3 parts. Plan what this home is for. Write down the purpose of this house in 1 or 2 lines. Is it a starter home, a forever home, or a legacy home you want to pass on? This purpose will guide every decision later. Plan your priorities and limits. List your top 3 must-haves and your top 3 nice-to-haves. Decide your budget range, your target timeline, and how much flexibility you have. This keeps you from saying yes to every new idea and then regretting the total bill. Plan around your family's real life. Make a simple family brief. Who will live here in the next 5-10 years? How much privacy do you want between generations, kids, and helpers? What spaces do you truly need? A quiet office, prayer area, hobby room, safe storage. That's the plan you need before anyone draws a single line. When you're clear on purpose, priorities, and your family's real needs, step 1 already saves you money, time, and a lot of stress. Now that the plan is clear on paper, let's design a home that can serve that plan not just for today, but for the next decades. What if your home could grow with your family for the next 30 to 50 years without needing a major renovation every time life changes? Most houses are designed only for the next few years. Young kids, current job, current trends. When parents age, children move back, or life shifts, the layout can't adapt, rooms stop working, privacy breaks down, and expensive renovations follow. Research by environmental psychologist Dr. Sadhana Jagannath shows that people in homes that can easily adjust as life changes feel significantly better and more fulfilled. Housing research by Dr. Emma Mulliner shows older adults strongly prefer homes where they can age in place, and homes that are easy to live in and adjust over time help reduce health and care costs. Step 2 is where you design for decades, not just for this season of your life. Think separate but connected. A guest room that can turn into a grandparent suite, a corner where a small lift could be added someday, a second prep area in the kitchen, a quiet path for staff so daily life flows. We live in a warm, rainy country. Design that in. Use shade, breeze paths, and covered walkways to keep heat and water out. With a plan set for the long haul, let's make sure the house doesn't just last, it helps you feel good every single day. What if your home helped you think clearer, sleep better, and feel less stressed without you even noticing, just because of how it's built? Most homes focus on looks and forget what really affects daily life: air quality, daylight, noise, and water. That's how you end up with beautiful spaces where people still feel tired, cranky, and on edge because the environment is slowly working against them. Harvard's Dr. Joseph Allen, co-author of Healthy Buildings, shows that clean air, good ventilation, and proper light can improve how people think, feel, and perform in everyday tasks. Immunologist Dr. Esther Sternberg, in Healing Spaces, The Science of Place and Well-Being, explains how well-designed, calm spaces can reduce stress in the brain and support healing in the body. Step 3 is where you make wellness a non-negotiable part of the design. Let in healthy daylight, but control glare. Keep air clean with smart ventilation and good filtering. Control noise so work, sleep, and family time feel peaceful, not chaotic. Treat water well, from kitchen to bath, so it's safe and pleasant to use. If you can, set aside a small, quiet corner, a place to stretch, breathe, or rest. When your home supports your body and mind like this, you get better sleep, better focus, and a better mood. That's the value you feel every single day. We've set the promise on paper. Now, we need to protect that promise during the build, where stress usually begins. This is where most dream homes turn into horror stories. Not in design, but during construction itself. If you're still watching at this point, you're already ahead of most people who just focus on pegs and paint colors. You've seen how planning, design, and wellness all connect. Now, let's talk about where most dream homes actually fall apart during construction. This is the stage where even good plans and good designs can still fail if you don't have real control. And if you already know you'll be building in the next 12 to 24 months, check the link in the description. We've opened a few slots for private legacy home planning calls, where we walk through your lot, your timeline, and your goals in more detail. Whether you do this on your own or with a team, you deserve to know what normally goes wrong here. This is where most of the horror stories actually start. Poor updates, late surprises, and overloaded builders leave owners confused and stressed. Changes get approved without anyone explaining the real impact on time, cost, and quality until it's too late. In 2025, US startup Welcome Homes sounded perfect on paper. Fixed costs, 6 to 7 month builds, all managed online. In reality, some families reported being left with only a muddy hole in the ground after more than a year, unexpected costs, and no clear explanation for delays. Some owners felt forced to visit the site almost daily to manage subcontractors themselves, while former staff described overloaded teams and ignored expert advice. It's a clear picture of what happens when there's no real control system in place. Step 4 is where you build with control instead of living with surprises. Keep your builder's workload small enough so your project gets real attention, not leftovers. Insist on one point person you can reach anytime so responsibility is clear. Get weekly updates that are short and clear with photos and a running cost summary. Whenever someone suggests a change, ask for the impact in plain words: time, cost, and look before you say yes. That simple system keeps you out of the role of accidental project manager and lets you stay the owner while still being in control. When the dust settles and the keys are ready, don't stop. Even if you get the design and build right, this last step can still make or break your legacy. The way your project ends decides whether your home feels like a solid asset or a long-term headache for you and your children. Most builds end with a handshake, a smile, and a bunch of missing details. Hidden defects show up later, nobody remembers what was agreed, and there's no clear record of how to run or maintain the house. In the US, an Arkansas couple who bought a renovated home from companies tied to HGTV, stars Dave and Jenny Mars, said some agreed repairs weren't done and more defects appeared after move-in, leading to years of legal trouble. At the ultra-luxury level, actor Kevin James reportedly ended up in a legal dispute over a mansion where money set aside for repairs didn't result in proper fixes. Both stories show that keys and a smile are not enough. You need proof, documentation, and a plan. Step 5 is where you insist on handing over more than keys. Ask for a final check by an independent team to confirm that the work is solid and safe. Ask for a complete digital folder, floor plans, specs, warranties, and a simple care schedule that tells you what to check each month, season, and year. Request a clear walkthrough or short how-to videos so your family and staff know how to operate the house properly. Set a 12-month follow-up to fine-tune after you've lived through 4 seasons. Do this, and when you pass the house to your children one day, you also pass the knowledge to care for it. That's how a house becomes a legacy, not a headache. Put it all together, and you get more than a house, you get a lasting standard for your family. You chose the right lot, designed with the future in mind, made health part of the plan, stayed in control during the build, and received a proper handover. Psychologist Gary W. Evans and his colleagues found that people living in higher quality homes reported better everyday mood and well-being, even when you factor out income and other things. And part of that was because people felt more emotionally connected to their home. In simple terms, when a house is well designed, well built, and well maintained, it doesn't just look good. It supports how you feel and becomes a place you're really proud to stay in for the long term. That's how you get daily comfort today and a gift your family can keep for a long time. Now that you know exactly how to build a legacy home, the next big decision is who will design it with you. If you're planning a serious build in the next 1 to 2 years and you want help applying these 5 steps to your own lot and situation, there's a link in the description where you can apply for a private consultation with our team. And if you're still in the research stage, your next best step is to watch my video on how to find the right home architect in the Philippines. There, I'll walk you step by step through what to look for and what to avoid, so you end up with a house that feels like you and protects your investment for decades.